Okay, this is definitely going to be a different video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you don't know, I have a lot of spiritual gifts, and I use them effectively to help and to bring awareness on this channel, okay? If you've not seen my 2022 early prediction video already, you can check it out. It's going to be somewhere in the little icon in that category, or towards the very end, you're going to see it flash on the screen, okay? And I've done an update from that video, and a lot has come true already. I've done that video really focusing mainly on early 2022 because obviously for a lot of us last year was a doozy. Last year was pretty crazy. So based upon last year's energy, including 2020, and just all the tragedy it brought and chaos, I really wasn't even sure if I wanted to use my gifts to look into this year. Even though I am very, very positive about this year, I'm very, very excited about this year, okay? 2022, to be exact. I have a good feeling overall. Doesn't mean that things will not happen. I'm staying positive with that. So I only did an early in-depth reading for you all publicly on this channel, because, who's to say what's really going to happen, right? Now, interesting enough, I had a really good sleep, went to bed, and I had a very, very detailed dream. It does actually connect to my reading that I did, my prediction video that I did. And I did follow-up videos explaining how and breaking down different things that I did predict that have happened already, which is Europe, parts of Europe being on lockdown, public school systems, especially in America, pushing for in-person to be stopped and back online because of the increase in cases and people getting infected and all types of really sad stuff. And the element of fire was what I've been saying is what I really saw a lot heavily for this year, in terms of explosions, in terms of spreads, just a lot of bang is what I'll say. Okay. So, in that video, that over an hour video, you could watch it for yourself and, take it in and make your own conclusion. You see what I'm saying? Because those type of videos, this type of video, is not easy. Okay. So disclaimer, for this video, I'm going to put a disclaimer because, I don't want anyone to, truthfully, I really don't want anyone to hear their favorite president, in their head and then freak out. I don't want that. So I'm just going to give you all, the meat opposed to the bones of the dream and leave it there. Okay. Because when it happens, you're going to see it anyway. Okay. Like, I know who it is. I know who it is. And I will tell you all that I got to speak to a particular political figure, if you will, in my dream as well, that I've never really did a reading on. So that was interesting. And I got to kind of look in their head a little bit and, where they're at. And that was Kamala Harris, you all. Yes, Kamala Harris. I got to speak to Kamala Harris in this dream, which I never thought would happen. And like usual, when my gift is being activated in this way, in this sense, it's very detailed. It's very clear. So that's not a clue necessarily. So it's not her. And she's not even a president, so it's not her. She's a vice president, but she's not president. So that's off the table, y'all. Okay, for those who think in her, it's off the table. And we had a very interesting conversation amongst looking at people and, just the scene that I was taking in of this death was really something that it's just really, like, it's really different than what I would have thought it would have been, like the energy surrounding this particular president. So talking to her was, it seemed like she was very sincere, which I'm not gonna get into that, but upon the news of this particular president's passing, she was very sincere. She was very sad, which I did not expect. So that should give you a little clue. She was very, very touched by people's response to this passing. She was definitely very dignified and held herself with class. Because I don't know if this was I don't know if I was being shown they call it the procession, or when certain people go to a certain service. I know a lot of times it depends upon the person who passes, where sometimes they'll have multiple services, or eulogies and stuff like that, or get-togethers, or like the media will come out and you'll see maybe like 2 or 3 people from Congress, or their previous cabinet speak. So I just want to give you guys that kind of background. So that's the energy that I was presented with before I saw everything else, was this particular person, which I did not expect. That was very interesting. So then we had more conversation, and Kamala was asking, we were, for some reason, about like skin, like the quality of somebody's skin. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. And she made a certain comment that made me think that maybe she doesn't identify as something as much as people would think, which was, I'm not going to go into that too much. But we were talking and I was looking at her like, huh? Like, so maybe because of her. So what I was getting was perhaps because of her career and her marriage, maybe over the years she's had to kind of like disidentify or detach herself in a certain way, because to rise to the top, you see what I'm saying? Like, I definitely got the impression from her, and I've never dreamed about her. I've never even looked really into her. I have, obviously, because the election, but not like in an in-depth way where I'm looking up, the city she was born in, like not in a weird way like that. So for her to come through, was quite interesting, but it did make sense. Once I woke up, it made complete sense why she was there, because she is the vice president. So it did make sense. Now that I think about it, and the first female, yeah, it makes sense. So, and congrats to her. We finally have some, female power, which is good. I mean, I know Hillary, not trying to put Hillary in this, but I know Hillary Clinton we know Hillary. Hillary's tried so many times to become president, and it's never worked out for her, poor girl. But, Kamala's been able to insert herself, and that's why I think she was being brought up to me, because like, how does she get there? What does she do? And it's making sense how she got there. I'll just put it that way. And what she had to mask, to be taken seriously in politics. To some people, not all of us, obviously, but to her, whatever constituency or people she represents, or whoever was to hire her from the beginning. She's, attorney, she was in law. We all know that. So I just got a deeper version of her that I didn't even know was going to come up in the dream as well. So I did want to tell you all that I was able to talk to her, and that was interesting. So I see more of a more human side of her. I mean, not gonna go too personal, but when she was talking to me, it's like the mask came off. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of political figures, they have this, whether we know it or not, or whether we see it or not. A lot of these politicians, I would say, they have this mask. You know, they present themselves in a certain way. So it's like on camera, off camera, they are quite different people, you know. They shouldn't be, but they are, you know. And I felt that from Kamala, that she is quite very sensitive on a lot of issues, and it makes her heart very soft. But then, you know, when we see her on camera, or talking to certain people, she comes across a different way to some people, you know. And being, you know, the first, you know, lady, vice president, potential president one day, maybe, who knows? I don't know. I know they were saying that Michelle Obama should run, but I don't, you know, I don't want to look into that just yet, but I know they said that Michelle Obama, people said that she would win. I don't know. You know, I haven't looked that far into it. That would be interesting to see, I can't lie. How that would go down in politics, I don't know, you know, with the debates. And, you know, when you're running for president, you know, you debate other presidents, you know, so how would that work? I have no idea. But so moving on from that part of the dream, what I saw was, for some reason, this visual of children, and I would definitely say a certain demographic, crying very heavily. In the dream, I saw a particular network on the TV glaring out into the street, like it was very loud, and it said breaking news, and then you see the person's name, and it was actually a very somber energy. Okay. Now, based upon this president that I saw, one could question if people would feel particularly sad. Okay. So I did get that vibe. You know, I did get the vibe that people were, you know, one word comes to mind, or one phrase, I should say, one phrase comes to mind, and that's the American dream. You know, the American dream. That's the energy I got, was the American dream. So to give you all a clue, this president represents, you know, to a lot of people, or the energy of American success, the American dream. You know, being able to be such a wonder to so many people, you know. So that was very heartwarming to see, because, you know, throughout history, you know, other presidents don't like other presidents, and there could be drama and gossip. So it was nice to see that people were respectful. It was nice to see that, you know, different networks were not being disrespectful, because you know, regardless of what political ideology you really latch onto more so, I think it's still very important when any sitting president, alive or dead, I think it's very important to be respectful. You know, I believe that, you know, I believe that it's important to respect, you know, the person in power over your country, because other not so nice people that are not allies of ours will use that, against us, whether people realize it or not. Other countries, I want to say other countries that are not our allies will use it against us. They will absolutely use it against us. So whether people like a sitting president or not, you know what I'm saying? Whether people like a previous president or not, I just feel like there should be a level of respect at all times, really. If you have a job where you're having to report salacious, sensational stories, and they may not even be true, but you have to sit up on camera and, constantly spew something for ratings, for views, for viewership. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? I think that is an issue, really. Now it's a little bit better, but not really. I mean, almost every president gets berated like this. And I just think that, like, on a global scale, in the positioning in the world that you're in, especially America, you have to be careful how you talk about presidents. So this particular president that I saw will be passing away soon. Natural death. See, the cause of death, I think, is a question mark. I will say that. Like, it is a question mark for me because based upon the energy, it feels like it's kind of like out of left field. I think that some people already feel that, or they have an idea, but not like this. When it does go down, I feel like people will be very somber, is what I want to say. Like, the energy from people, young and old, will be, ah, the American dream. This person pushed the American dream. This person really tried to the best of their ability, in their own special way, represent America. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. So then I was shown woman crying really heavily, like like heave crying. So this person's loved. I mean, to some people, this person's very loved. I would even say like a national treasure. Like, this person can be seen to some people as a national treasure. Depending upon your political party, I would say, like, that's very debatable. What your perception is of this person, because it's a very broad range is what I was getting. Like, it's a very broad range of, like, what this person had to offer, what this person gave certain people. So overall, I will say the energy was somber. There was a sadness to it, for sure. There was definitely a sadness to it. What I will say is the procession, the broadcast, it will be broadcasted, you all. Okay, just so you know, it will be broadcasted regardless of the pandemic, especially in Washington. It will be held in Washington, okay? And it will be, how can I say this without giving away too much? It will be very well done. Like, a lot of American flags, a lot of pomp and circumstance, like a lot of pomp, a lot of pomp. it's interesting because I don't know if this person, like, it's kind of funny that I'm saying, like, I don't know if this person really, it's interesting. I don't really know if this person got the reception, the reception that they, like, with the funeral, right? With the funeral, they're gonna get their flowers. I'll put it that way. With the funeral, right? With the funeral, they're gonna get a lot of love. Like, that's what I'm getting actually. A lot of people may travel during this season, during this time, to America. I was seeing if they allow it. And by travel, I mean people from other states, okay, going to Washington or going to other places. But that's going to depend upon the pandemic, you see, because if there is restrictions, if the cases, I mean, I know we already broke a 1 million case record, which was a global record in America alone. So with that information, I'm looking in hindsight and saying, okay, I don't know if people are going to be able to travel by plane as easily, but if they are going to be able to, there will be a lot of people, whether from locally, like, for example, I'll say, like, from the Midwest or the West, like, going to particular, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will take advantage of that and maybe they'll want to travel, okay? But if there's a lot of restriction, then it's going to be mostly people like local, like just driving up, or I'm hearing by train, even, like, maybe it could be a different city, to go to central DC. But it's going to depend upon, honestly, you all, the turnout, the reception, in terms of viewership is going to depend upon the pandemic. That's what I'm getting. So there could be a lot of ruffling about that, like, oh, well, this person got this many views versus this president got this many views. That's petty, okay? So that's what I would not advise for networks to do, is to pin one president versus the other. I have a feeling I know who they're going to compare to. Just by what I'm seeing, and I'm going back in the dream, I'm telling you all, I already know what president they're going to compare this president to. I see it. So that's petty. That's very petty, but they may. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's still media. Like, it's still media, y'all. So there could be, certain journalists and people who, they take the opportunity to swipe. But I will say, be careful. I would definitely say, like, be careful to certain news anchors and journalists. Be very careful how you talk about this person, because if you get, like, too, if you start talking in a way where you're making jokes and you're being disrespectful, like, you will get fired. I just want to put that out for the record. Like, I'm not pinpointing, I'm not telling you all exactly what station, because I don't want to make anybody think that it's their president, their favorite president, and I don't want people to be up in arms. So I'm just giving you all the dots, and y'all can connect it, okay? Maybe closer to the time I can maybe say the name, but I don't feel led to right now. Okay? So I definitely will say that yes, upon the funeral, upon the news breaking, I'm hoping that, people, certain journalists and stuff like that, will not use this as an opportunity to get brownie points, because I think that's really low grade. Like, I really hope that, regardless of parties, like, right now, like, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, right now, we know that the House is Democrat. I'm just going to put that out here, right? So that's why I'm saying this, because the majority right now is Democrat as the time I'm making this video. So that's all I'm saying is, like, you know, don't use it as an opportunity to like make jokes that are like really disrespectful, because like it will come back and haunt your career. Like it will, like certain people, like, I mean, not everybody's gonna be respectful, you know, I'll put it that way. Like not everybody, not everybody is going to know how to hold their tongue and let the funeral happen, and let the you know the family grieve, and you know, not everybody's going to have that level of respect. But what I'm seeing is, if you use this opportunity to like make, you know, low punching jokes, and if you use this as an opportunity to make fun of somebody, like, I do feel like you will get fired. So I just want to put that out here. Like, anybody who you know, works in that field, that industry, and you're watching this video and like you report news, or you write about the news or whatever, please be careful, because like you will get fired. So I saw a lot of I saw a lot of women crying, which was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. And kids, like, I would say teenagers. You know, I saw one little girl like writing in chalk on the pavement, and she put a big heart around it. So clearly, you know, this is really family centric, is what I'm gonna say. It's a lot about family, family, family. And yeah, I what else can I tell you all from the dream report? What else can I tell you all that I saw? It was in the morning. Okay, so this news broke very, I would say very, quite early in the morning. Nothing past 11:30, 12, going into noon time. Could be top of the hour, but not past it. So like the news will break before 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Okay, it's gonna be in the morning. And then of course, as the day goes on, there's gonna be all this coverage, and it's gonna be, I feel, you know, I'll say, before I close, I will say this. It could be, you know, it could be an opportunity for both parties to come together. You know, the positive side, the not so clear side that people may not see in the moment, is that it could be used as an opportunity to, I'm hearing, bridge the gap. It definitely could be used as an opportunity to find what we have in common, and to, you know, almost like pat each other on the back and say, you know, good job, you know, for serving your country, or for representing your, you know, your city or your state. Like, it could be used as an opportunity for people to come together. I do see some pettiness though. Like, I do see that there could be a lot of people who are quite petty, and they could, you know, make jokes. Like I said, be very careful, because maybe in the moment it feels good to say, "Yay, this person's finally gone," but like, bro, like, it's gonna look really bad. So I just keep getting that like certain people may try to like do a low punch, you know, but keep in mind that every president has family. You know, whether you are in their political party or not, like, every president has family. So the family will be watching, right? The family will be getting reports back on who's talking badly about their person. So just be careful, okay? Like, just, they should really be careful. So yeah, that's what I really got. And it just definitely feels like it's gonna be a pretty big occasion. I will say that it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal, and yeah, for some reason Kamala Harris is like one of the stars. I keep getting that, like, Kamala will be around. You know, she will be interviewed. She will be looked upon. The fashion choices. I just want to say this, the fashion choices of what certain people wear leading up to the day is also going to be in the news. The color palette, the style, the cut is it's a big deal. You know, it's going to be a pretty big deal. So anyway, you all, this person, this person for the most part, I will say for the most part, was very, very loved by a certain demographic. And you know, it's gonna be very solemn. I think people will be very shocked. At first, people will be very, very kind of blown away, like, you know, like the wind knocked out of their sail, and they're gonna be like, whoa, like, oh my God. And you know how it is, like, you know how it is when they flash that breaking news. You know, we all know how that goes. So you know, hopefully people are able to, you know, and this is kind of like how it is with celebrities, you know, in a weird about way. Even though these are politicians, these are people who are in government, at the same time, it gives me kind of the vibe of like a celebrity who passed away. Like, you know, it's kind of like the energy of, like, you know, you cherish them when they're here. You know, you enjoy their personality when they're here. You know, you look back on other interviews or pictures while they're here, opposed to when they're gone. Okay, and that's the vibe that I'm getting. Is some people will be very happy that they were able to go to bat and, you know, speak up, and other people not so much. You know, other people got, you know, certain parties and government, they're not really gonna want to speak unless they can dig, is what I'm saying. They're not gonna really want to say much unless they can make a joke or but like I said, you all, you know, respect, you know, you, regardless of what you think, like, I just think that the world will be watching, like, other countries will be speaking about this as well. So they gotta be very careful how they package the news up and how they deliver it. You know, just respect. I mean, even if you hate the person, like, you still just try to be classy. Yes, like, you report it in a classy way, you know, not crass, and let it go. You know, the person's gone. At that point, the person's gone. Like, this person's gone. So why, you know what I'm saying? Why make it a negative thing? Like, you know, passing away is natural. Like, this is all natural. This is a part of, you know, the cycle of life. You know, you're here, you're born, then you leave. So that's just my perspective. My perspective is more of just, you know, everybody that's president, vice president, they serve, you know, whether we like them or not, they serve in their own way. And that's just that. And nobody can erase a person from the history book. You know, nobody can squabble their name out. You just can't. No matter how bad or good they've got press, they will always be there. They will always be there. So thank you all for watching. That is just what I wanted to say in this video. Yeah, I'm actually really happy I was able to touch on a lot of detailed parts of this vision dream that I got, forecast that I got for this year, next year. Really, I really felt like to say 2022, 2023, but I can't lie, it feels like this year. It feels like it's this year, but I don't want to put that out in the atmosphere. So whenever it happens, it happens. I'm not, you know, I don't want, you know, we don't want to rush time here. We can't time travel yet. So, in that way. So, you know, whenever it happens, y'all will see it. And, this is just kind of like a mark with this video of the timing, you know, with the timing, the day that I'm making this video. I think it will, and I know it will all connect down the line. All right. God bless you all. Subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.